was it? The debate will only be found on the cerebellum, lower mind, which is the mind of war, connected directly to the reptilian brainstem. As an example, David Icke reports on reptilians in the literal sense, where I see what he is doing from the allegoric anagogic view. These are the dramas that everyone gets caught in because they are blinded by their literal minds and the apparent obvious, putting in their intent L, making them oblivious, sending them into constant oblivion. Let's take a better look at that word, shall we? Ob. Prefix meaning toward, against, across, down. Also used as an intensive from Latin ob, toward, to, over, against, in the way of, by reason of, about, before, in front of, from the root of epi. Epimetheus? Guess what you're going against? The Prometheus, the for-me god. And then insert a live ion sound. Ob as a prefix, like con, means for and against, but let's go a little deeper still with the sounds. Lie and ve are also equal and opposite in that one is a lie and one is truth. Ve from verily. Lie is also pronounced as li, meaning the calm side of a ship or mind. And the V is a symbol with an all from above to below intention by its very shape. If you look at the keyboard of any computer, you'll see the pointing above, the mirror version of the V, on the 6th key, which sends the hex from below to the above. Simply put, the as below is physical, the as above is spiritual. So what we put out via our torus fields within, mouth, is what gets created without in the creation torus field. We are the ones folding time and space within ourselves and the world we create around us. Fact. The feminine creation field folds in counterclockwise while the intent, the masculine Anu, rotates outward, projecting the creations. For an example of this in the macro fractal, the Orion Nebula is a male Anu ejecting stars exactly the same way a male ejaculates into the void of the feminine micro. The energy created within during orgasm is the feminine energy in both male and female body illusion manifestations here. This will explain the pen chant, desires of clergy to sodomize, Sodom eyes, so silent eyes, young boys, because this intention always creates within the feminine void within us all, regardless of how it enters that field. As I have said for many years, this game is all about energy, the intentions behind it, in that this is what creation does. The one that owns the intention creates the children of thought, as shown in the hex, Go-Mo-Ra. The true worshipping of Ra is to sow the seeds of intent via ro or eggs, salmon, wisdom eggs, from the below to above, A. This is why the Egyptians, the slave owners, were so anal about all procreation ceremonies, where they knew the truth about how creation really works energetically. So while you waste your time in the distractions, your world is being created for you, and the chaos ensues the longer you don't understand the power of creation herself. This was the power of the Two-Spirit that they were terrified of, because the one who has balance becomes the rainbow bride, bridge with silence hex, where all things can be created using either the front door or the back door to creation. While some of you may wince at the notions conveyed, this is the programmed emotions that blind you to the energetic creations. In that everyone is source feminine within, all are masculine intention without. Just like any computer. It's garbage in, garbage out, and vice versa. This is a merry-go-round of interweaving energies coiling in and out, where the divide and conquer was convincing humanity that only women can create life held in such illusions as clan mothers, etc. Granted, children can only be grown in the Virgo of women, literally, but all humanity has a Virgo womb, and it matters not to the unconditional creation field as to how the intentions get there and what they create physically or not. One has to get far beyond the physical illusion to see the energy of creation itself, where the itself is androgynous, neither male or female, and male-female at the same time. This is the singularity of creation, where the itself is the birth of the thought from the herself-himself union, regardless of what perceived illusion of sex you are. Remember, sex is between the legs, and gender is between the ears. If you want to see the proof phonetically of the genders game, just remove the hex of G to find the crosshairs of the ender's aim. Enders, am I, or the infinite God am I. Replace the G with the real sound of K and look again at the same thing being said phonetically with sound drawn from any and all language, accent, and tensions. Kenders came, or Kenders ka me. Ken is Scottish slang for no, and Ka is Egyptian for spirit, personified with magnetic, electric, androgynous me. Deeper still we go. Magnetic takes on a truer form when sounded like make and ni, ti. It's even hard for me to read my own stuff because it's pure download. I as in the eyes you see with, I as yes, and see, to see, or the C becomes a sentence like this. So this is what I read when the word magnetic reads to me like this. This is how I redefine my reality. Magnetic means this to me: create infinite Christ consciousness in the law of truth, where T equals love. I see with my eyes to see, saying thereby creating unconditional law of truth. And all this time you thought it was just one word. So that's what magnetic is. Well, I'll say that again. This is what that one word, and I can go on with this one word, but this is where I can find the true heart intent within it. Create infinite Christ consciousness in the law of truth, T equal love. I see with my eyes to see, saying thereby creating unconditional love, or unconditional law of truth. And all this time you thought it was just one word. No. The letters E and A are critically important to me because of the role they play. The lowercase a and e are 6 and 9 in the mirror, or the energies of yin and yang. It is not a coincidence that they are both used as prefixes to mean not and no, to create a hidden negative intent. I simply changed my intent as to what I wanted them to mean, coming from my Virgo womb and Leo heart, or Anu. So this is the answer to the riddle of the Sphinx, by the way, if you can see it, and one that has long eluded mankind, though not surprisingly based on what I had to experience in this life to find it. The common thread that unlocked all the mysteries is found in the pure magic of Phoenician, where your own phoenix will rise from the ashes, the H's, where your EAs are sent via the H, shortening your ETAs or ETAs. It's only you that are holding yourself back, and that's only because you're not going into the womb of creation in silence. This is the reason why Caesarean sections are happening, defying or uncreating natural order. Every forced thought from the monkey chattering left cane field is the same thing by trying to force the birth of an idea versus simply letting it come naturally. My bet is that regardless of what some meat stick doctor will tell you, that baby is going to come in its own sweet fucking time, with or without their scalp L, or natural intention scalped. It's funny that the white man came up with the whole notion of scalping that caught on with the ones they were scalping, and in turn, blame fell on the ones originally being scalped. This is a standard operating procedure of the media, etc., or the sow the mirror of seed of spirit backwards from sop to pose. Suppose? Well, I guess. I prefer breaking the P spell with the key of Peter itself, replacing the original intention of Ro, spirit breath, in lieu of the P mirror hex. See how this new intention works for you now. SOR to ROS, or so spirit breath of divine feminine. There are those that create names to corrupt natural law to shape the intent and worship of this mirror to create their world. What exactly does George Soros mean to you now? Soros, a mirror spell by the way, with a first name full of Masonic G hex that reads as Fall Lows. The hex of consciousness into creation with the spirit breathing the hex of consciousness, Soros, sore O's, sorrows, or quarrels, S-arrows. It's enough to make anyone quiver with plenty of quarrels, quarry L's, and stay in this merry-o round, or mer-ego round, huh? Look what you find right in the epic enter and the start of the yellow brick road. As a final thought, perhaps you may ponder, or the Pawn of God, the sheer coincidence of the movie Ender's Game that came out recently, if you hadn't twigged on that clue prior. The more savvy of you seeing this, seeing with your ears did and are likely watching the movie already as I finish writing this. Funny that Peter becomes Retur when you give your own spirit breath a leg to stand on, so now your XY chromosome becomes XX and the double cross returns. Nah, the Spellbinder's days are done. New reality once you see with your own horizon. Yep, creation is a Horus, and she'll birth everything unconditionally once you get your Osiros and your is working in Baal lands. All you have to do is bail your own ship or mind out, and the phonics and sonics is you. Is your bucket. Bu ket to love or bucket. This stuff just unloads, and you wouldn't believe how this goes out of my head. But anyway, your bucket list or ship sinking is done, but then you have to make that choice where I already have. Stand in truth, regardless of illusional threat or consequence fear, because that is the only quest we're on. You can take all the clues you want to set you free, or use the clou, French for nails, and get busy nailing yourself to the other cross. TNT, the note of law of truth, or the cross of crucifixion. Didn't Christ, the infinite N, have a thief or a thief on either side? The one that chose truth got the cab ride or cob ride home. And the other got an all-expense-paid trip back to the Mar ego round. There's your maritime law. Roundho day or Groundhog Day, your choice. He key, she key, and N key. It all depends on your sister. Your sister Nirhusag Taurus. That's Nirhusag. You might know the story of Enki, Enlil, and Nirhusag. There's the allegory displayed for you. It all depends on your sister Nirhusag Taurus, blind to sound. Big kiss. Inter, to be imprisoned, or inter, to be imprisoned, state 60, or in ear, stay, love, unconditional love, the law of truth, in consciousness 90. I just took my exit. You?